Hello class, this is Peter Sorensen, and I know many of you are uploading videos, and as I sit here on probably day 5 or 6 of my COVID isolation, I feel like I'm doing you a favor by not letting you see my face. So uh, consider yourself done a favor. Anyways, so for my communications class resource handout, I actually, instead of focusing on textbooks and other more traditional sources. My focus was on trade trade journals, magazines, and other formats as such. From each source, I did choose a particular article that I found of use and of intrigue, and those are what I annotated and discussed in the handout. But kind of as the opening paragraph says, keep in mind when you do click on the links to go and look at these articles that you should back out and kind of take a look at the source as a whole because it is a wealth of up-to-date tips, tricks, trends, ideas, and things that serve kind of where we are currently in 2022. Now, as far as which one I wanted to discuss in a little bit more detail, and one that I found quite useful was the first one. So Patty Sanchez, The New Rules of Hybrid Engagement, Training Industry Magazine, fall of 2022. So the new rules of hybrid engagement, what this says to me, the past 3 years or so kind of have really shifted the landscape as far as how we communicate with teams, with staff, during trainings, webinars, etc. Um, Kind of the old-fashioned views of just presenting a PowerPoint to a group full of people who you can see and interact with and know if they are engaged, really doesn't hold up for an online setting. Um, It could be a hybrid situation where there are two groups of people, some in person and some that are just on a speaker in the corner of the room, or they are somewhere down the list. You have no idea if they are actually paying attention, or they could be on mute and in the kitchen washing the dishes, just hoping to get credit for whatever training they signed up for. So the tips for keeping these folks engaged is obviously, you know, making sure that the content is engaging and as attention grabbing as possible. Use stories, things that people can relate to. Break the session up into smaller chunks. Have a quick beginning, middle, end to your point, so as not to drag on and lose sight of these folks that are not in there with you. Um, and I think the most useful one that I have seen put in practice, either in class settings at Metro State or in trainings at work, is to keep everyone engaged through online interactions using the platform that you are using to present the information. So Zoom or Slack or any of the online meeting tools, they generally have the capability where you can throw up a smiley face, put questions in a chat box, give a thumbs up. So polling questions that engage the entire group, and then you can wait for, until 95% of the group has responded. And I think the most useful part is the ability to break online groups into offline discussions. So you have a group one, group two, group three, and you throw 3 or 4 people in each group, and then they get together and discuss the topic in a more in-depth style, and then come back to the larger group and present. So it's just kind of thinking outside of the box of keeping folks engaged and keeping kind of this modern workforce, engaged in these trainings. This type of learning environment is kind of where we're going to be in the future. Um, And the old methods of just presenting a dry slide deck in front of a group won't work with the current environment. So thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to talking to you all soon. Thank you.